Hello everyone. In this short video, we'll take a look at how to complete the peer review assignment in Canvas. If you submitted your rough draft for peer review before the due date, then after the due date, Canvas will automatically assign you an anonymous peer review. Now, there are several different ways you might receive a notification that you've been assigned a peer review to complete. You may have received an email. You may have received a message in your Canvas inbox, or when you log into Canvas, like in this dashboard view, under To Do, you'll see a notification, Critical Bibliography Rough Draft Self and Peer Review. Another place where this notification might show up, when you enter the course, and you are looking at the main menu of the course, you'll see the same To Do message, Critical Bibliography Rough Draft Self or Peer Review. Or, if you go back to Unit 6, or whichever unit you submitted, it's usually in Unit 6 in my courses, you'll see you successfully submitted, the date and time that you submitted, submission details. You can download the rough draft that you uploaded, and then you will also see below that assigned peer reviews and one anonymous user. So let's go back to this view where you see the notification under your to-do list. Click on that link and it will take you to this view. If you go back to Unit 6, where you submitted the rough draft to begin with, you can also simply click on the anonymous user notification. Now, if you've been assigned a self-review, you'll need to complete both the self-review and the anonymous peer review. If you haven't been assigned a self-review, don't worry about it, just complete the anonymous peer review. So, begin by clicking on the anonymous user assigned peer review. That will take you to this view. Now, depending on your browser or what type of device you're using, you might see a preview of the paper in this window here. If not, you'll need to download it to your computer or device, so you probably want to use a computer for this, and then open it up so you can read it. Microsoft Word, or I don't recommend using Google Docs for this because the formatting may get messed up. And here you will see the rough draft of the paper that you are reviewing. So read through this and check the criteria. Now, what do I mean by criteria? Go back to your browser where you can see this view, and a very small link will show up here in the upper right-hand corner called Show Rubric. Click on that link, and that will open up a smaller window where you can actually see the rubric that you use to grade the paper. This is the exact same rubric that I use to grade your papers when you turn in your final draft. These criteria are identical to the criteria on the rubrics that I used to grade each of your worksheet assignments where you submitted different parts of your rough draft of your critical bibliography paper, or whatever paper that you were working on. So as you read the other students' draft of their paper, check for the same criteria. The first criteria have to do with the citation. These are yes, no questions basically, or you can assign partial points depending on how complete you think each portion of the other student's rough draft is. Now remember, the grades you give each other are temporary. They're just to help each other revise your drafts. Once you've completed both steps, you've submitted for peer review and you complete the peer review, or the self and peer review, whichever you've been assigned. Once you complete both of those steps, then later on in the course, I will give you the full points for doing the self and peer review assignment. Now, if the other person's draft seems to be complete on that criterion, then all you need to do is click on full marks and that will give that person the full marks for that criterion. So, how do you leave feedback if you think that one section of the rough draft is not complete? Let's say the summary paragraph. I summarized information from the author paragraph, the publisher paragraph, the claim and support paragraph, the general topic, and the date and periodical where this article was published. Now, let's say that the person seems to have left out one of those pieces of information. How do you leave feedback? You can scroll over here. You can assign however many points you think they earned for that criterion, let's say 12 out of 15, and then you can leave a comment. You might want to include a little more information about the author in your summary. Something like that. Something that you think would be helpful to the person to improve their draft of their paper that you are peer reviewing. Click on Update Comment, and you'll see a little blue highlight here that shows that you've entered information. So once you have completed the peer or self-review, let's pretend that I did a fabulous job on my rough draft. I get almost all the points. This is a long and detailed rubric. Don't think of it as extra work. Think of it as extra helpful. That, of course, is up to you. Once you have decided how many points for each criterion, you'll need to scroll over to this lower left-hand corner. You won't see this button until you've completed the rubric and you're scrolled all the way to the left. Click on Save Comment. And then you can add a general comment like, overall, a very good job. And again, try to be helpful in your comments. You can save that comment. And now you've completed one self or peer review. If you want to go back and change something that you've done, or make sure that you assign the points you wanted to assign, you can always click on Show Rubric again, and it will show you the work that you've already done. Now, how can you verify that you have completed all the required reviews? You can either click on this link while you're in this view. It will take you back to the self and peer review assignment, and you'll see, again, your submission history and then assigned peer reviews. If all of the assigned reviews have check marks next to them, then you know that you're done. And of course, you can check that anytime by clicking on Modules, going back to Unit 6, clicking on the assignment again, and it shows you this view again, and you can see that you have check marks next to all of your assigned reviews.